السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. We continue inshallah ta'ala with our conversations from the Al-Arabiya Bayna Yadayk, and inshallah ta'ala we're going to continue using this book. As I was mentioning yesterday, the possibility of skipping it if it's not needed, but most of the students inshallah they are in need of going through these conversation for the vocabularies and also for the expression inshallah ta'ala. And also, as I mentioned, the best way to study these conversations is to memorize them. So like that, when you want to express yourself, you don't have to create sentences in your mind. You don't have to think about grammar, or you don't have to think about what to say, where to put the words. Rather, you have a lot of templates in your mind, and you're able to speak more fluently, inshallah ta'ala. Even if you were to make 100 grammatical mistakes, the main thing is when you are speaking is the words are coming to you and it's flowing, inshallah ta'ala. So yesterday, where did we go? I think we had one more lesson remaining from one more hiwar, yes. We have the last hiwar, al-hiwar al-thalith, to continue with, inshallah ta'ala, before we get into some of the exercises. الحوار الثالث انظر واستمع وأعد. The third conversation, انظر, look, واستمع, listen, وأعد, and repeat. So here we have a conversation between Adil and Faisal. Adil, he says, متى تستيقظ يوم العطلة؟ متى تستيقظ يوم العطلة؟ Mata, when تستيقظ, you wake. يوم العطلة, the day of holiday. And we explained this word عطلة yesterday. It shows inactivity, it shows no work, and it can show something not functioning. So يوم العطلة, the day when there is the day of no work. And you translate this entire phrase, يوم العطلة, as holiday. So Adil, he's asking Faisal, متى تستيقظ يوم العطلة? When do you wake? يوم العطلة, on a holiday. Faisal, he responds, أستيقظ مبكرا. أستيقظ مبكرا. I wake early. مبكرا, early. Faisal, he said, وَمَتَى تَسْتَيْقِظُ أَنْتَ? وَمَتَى تَسْتَيْقِظُ أَنْتَ? And when do you wake? تَسْتَيْقِظُ, you wake, and أَنْتَ means you. Now the repetition of this pronoun here, if you were to say وَمَتَى تَسْتَيْقِظُ, it's going to be sufficient to mean when do you wake. Adding the anta is a form of emphasis to emphasize that you're addressing the person you are speaking to and wanting an answer from them. أستيقظ متأخرا. Adil, he says, أستيقظ متأخرا. I wake late. أستيقظ متأخرا. And a note also, when there is a difference between the expression in English and the expression in Arabic, you try to understand the concept in Arabic. Now it's going to sound strange to your ears for a long time until you get used to the Arabic language. And that's where the listening is going to assist a lot. Just listening to the Arabic language and listening and contemplating on their expression. All of these differences in the expression is going to become more normal, inshallah ta'ala, and you're going to get used to it. And then it's going to flow with you, and it's going to become natural with you, inshallah ta'ala. Faisal, he asked, ماذا تفعل في الصباح? ماذا تفعل في الصباح? What do you do in the morning? ماذا what تفعل you do في الصباح in the morning? Adil, he says, أشاهد التلفاز. أشاهد التلفاز. أشاهد, here it means I watch. التلفاز, the television. أشاهد التلفاز, I watch the television. Or I look at the television, however you want to express it. وماذا تفعل أنت? And what do you do? وماذا تفعل أنت? And what do you do? Faisal, he says, أقرأ صحيفة أو كتابا. أقرأ صحيفة أو كتابا. I read a page, I read a newspaper or a book. صحيفة here means newspaper. أو كتابا or a book. And a صحيفة, it can refer to any scrolls, any type of scrolls, loose pages that are put together, but it's not bind. When it's bind, that's normally what you call a book or a notebook. But if it's loose, it's like it's a صحيفة. عادل, أين تصلي الجمعة? أين تصلي الجمعة? Where do you pray الجمعة? Meaning صلاة الجمعة. Where do you pray صلاة الجمعة? أين تصلي الجمعة? فيصل, أصلي الجمعة في المسجد الكبير. أصلي الجمعة في المسجد الكبير. I pray the Jumu'ah in the big masjid. في المسجد الكبير. And we know the adjective comes after the noun in Arabic. So I pray in the masjid, big. I pray in the big masjid. Faisal, وأين تصلي أنت? And where do you pray? أين تصلي أنت? Adil, he says, أصلي في المسجد الكبير أيضا. I pray in the big masjid also. أصلي في المسجد الكبير أيضا. I pray in the big masjid also. Now again, for those who most of the conversation, the vocabularies is new or strange or forgotten, memorize it as it is with the English. So for example, you say متى تستيقظ يوم العطلة? When do you wake on a holiday? Or when do you wake on the holiday? متى أستيقظ مبكرا? I wake early. أستيقظ مبكرا, and you memorize it like that. And following up the memorization with a lot of listening and the other book that we are reading, you're going to find after a while, inshallah ta'ala, everything is going to start to sink and gather in your mind, inshallah ta'ala. In the beginning, for the first year and a half, sometimes 2 years, the Arabic can be very scattered. But you must be doing something on a consistent base. If you're not doing something on a consistent base, you're not going to be able to build. And there you see many people, they're studying Arabic 2, 3, 4, 10 years, and they haven't progress much because they're not doing something on a consistent base and they're not really learning, just moving through reading, moving through reading, moving through. So make sure you have a methodology that you are moving on. These are the vocabularies from the passages. At-tadrib means the exercise. At-tadrib. صل بين كل سورتين بينهما علاقة. صل means to connect. Baina, between. Kulli, all, literally mean all or every. Suratain, two surah, two images. So connect between every two images. Bainahuma, between the two of them. Alaqa is a relationship or a relation. Right? Sil, connect between every two image. Between the two of them there is a relation. Now this phrase itself is worth memorizing, because the expression in English, we're going to say what? Connect between every two image in which there is a relation. We're going to put something in between, but no, there is nothing there. Right? Connect between every two images. Between the two of them there is a relation. So now that, if you translate it literal, it's going to sound strange. But what you do, you understand each word, understand the general message of the sentence, then you repeat it loud. صِل بَيْنَ كُلِّ سُورَتَيْن بَيْنَهُمَا عَلَاقَةٌ. صِل بَيْنَ كُلِّ سُورَتَيْن بَيْنَهُمَا عَلَاقَةٌ. And those you can go through them by yourself. And this book is very readily available. The book that we are using is the old print of the Arabiya Bayna Yadayk. I didn't find a new print in PDF, so we're going to use the old print, and you can find it readily available on Amazon and so on. Here, صِل بَيْنَ الْكَلِمَةِ وَالصُّورَةِ الْمُنَاسِبَةِ. صِل, connect, بَيْنَ الْكَلِمَةِ, between the word, وَالصُّورَةِ, and the image, al-munasiba. Munasiba means relevant. So connect between the word and the relevant picture, or the picture that is relevant to the word, that matches the word. So here you have madrasa is going to be the D, or the dal, sorry. So that is what is meant. We're just going through these expression. The exercise, those you can go through them on your own visually, just to test yourself. Mufradatun idafiyatun. Mufradatun idafiyatun. And this is one of the things we want to focus on. Mufradat means vocabularies. Mufradat, vocabularies. Idafiyatun means extra. So mufradatun idafiyatun means extra vocabularies. Extra vocabularies. So here they are teaching us what you call the al-a'dad al-tartibi, those numbers that show orders. First, second, third, fourth, fifth. So here you have al-awwal, first, al-thani, second, or the second, al-awwal, first or the first, al-thani, second, the second, al-thalith, the third, al-rabi', the fourth, al-khamis, the fifth. Now, if you notice, for most of them, right, with the exception of the first, it's on a scale, the scale of the fa'il. We did the scale during the summer. If you don't if you haven't done the scale before, what is meant by the scale is in simple, just like a specific shape. And we're going to go through that back, inshallah ta'ala, later on. Just look at the shape. The first, you have the first letter followed by a alif, followed by a kasra, right? Letter, the first letter followed by an alif, followed by a kasra. First letter followed by alif, kasra. The first letter followed by a alif, then followed by a kasra. Right? The first letter of the regular number. So the regular number for 2 is ithnain, right? A tha, that hamza there is hamzatul wasl. The regular number is for 3 is thalatha, 4 arba'a, 5 khamsa. So putting it on that scale, on that shape, give you that, I think you call it the ordinal numbers in English, but the numbers that show sequence. So with the exception of the first, you have al-awwal, first, al-thani, second, al-thalith, al-rabi', al-khamis. So if you see ithnain, it's mean 2, al-thani is second, thalath means 3, al-thalith, third, al-rabi', arba'a, fourth, al-rabi', sorry, arba'a is 4, al-rabi', fourth. Khamsa is 5, al-khamis, fifth. Now these numbers don't just, if you just want to suffice with the understanding, then yes, that's sufficient what we just did, right? And just contemplating over it. Al-thani wal-thalith wal-rabi', repeating it like that to get used to it. Now if you want to learn it in a way to be able to use it without thinking much, learn each word separate. So don't memorize it in a bulk. You know, like when you learn 1 to 10, you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 when you're in pre-K or whatever. Right? You normally learn the number in bulk. Or when you learn, for example, the alphabet, you say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you just memorize the alphabet. Now, in that initial stage, what happens when you do it like that? You put yourself back when you're first learning the alphabet, or you can gauge it on the Arabic alphabet. Those who learn, when they're learning Arabic, they just memorize the names, alif, ba, ta, tha, jim, ha, kha, and they listen to their teacher without paying attention. They just memorize it. What happens? When it's individual, they mix everything up. When they see jim, they mix it up for ha. When they see khaf, they mix it up for kaf, and so on. So you don't want the same thing to happen to you with the numbers. So you want to learn each one individually. Thani, second. Thani, second. Maybe skip. Don't learn thani then thalith. Rather learn rabi, thani, rabi, fourth, sadis, sixth, and so on. Mix it up and learn it individually. Like that, when you're ready to use it, you don't have to think which is first, which is second, which is third. Same thing when you're learning the days of the week. Right? Many people, they learn the days of the week in Arabic. This al-ahad, al-ithnain, al-thulatha, al-arbi'a, al-khamis, al-jumu'ah, al-sabt. But when it comes to using it, they can't use it. They have to think, they have to count to see which one is going to synchronize with Wednesday and which one is going to synchronize with Tuesday. But if you learn it individually, right? Al-Khamis, Thursday, Al-Khamis, Thursday, and so on, you're not going to get that problem. So here, Rattib al-A'dad, meaning organize the numbers. Rattib means organize the numbers. Sil bayn al-adad wa kitabatihi. Sil, join, link, merge, connect between the number wa kitabatihi and its writing. Kitaba means writing. Kitabatihi, its writing. Iqra al-a'dad at-tartibiyya. Right here, you test yourself. But you're reading it as the ordinal numbers. I hope I'm using the right word. But meaning you're using first, second, third, fourth. So here you're not going to say wahid, you're going to say al-awwal. Here you're going to say al-thalith. And these here, don't rush through it. For those who need it, go through it, and then check back with the top. There are going to be some exercise that's going to be homework, inshallah, but here we just want to go through them. Now here, so that first part you did from first to the fifth, and the other is going to come, inshallah ta'ala. So that, for this part, the main thing is for you to learn from the first to the fifth. Al-awwal, wal-thani, wal-thalith, wal-rabi, wal-khamis. التراكيب النحوية. التراكيب النحوية, meaning grammatical composition or grammatical structuring. التراكيب is like a structure or a composition where you compose things together. نحوية meaning grammatical. So التراكيب النحوية meaning a grammatical structure or grammatical structures. متى تذهب إلى المدرسة؟ أذهب الساعة السابعة. And this is the second thing that we want to learn, and that's the time. How to say time in Arabic. In the exercise, there were a few. In the conversation, there were a few. So here he's saying, asking, متى تذهب إلى المدرسة? When do you go to the madrasa? The second person respond, I go أذهب الساعة السابعة. I go at 7 o'clock. Now note there is no at, right? That is not necessary. Now some people they say أذهب في الساعة السادسة or السابعة or الثالثة, but it's not necessary. You can just say it just like this. Without the fee. But you don't use like inda, adhabu inda, a word representing what we memorize as at or so. So now note that when you're saying time in Arabic, you're using these a'dad tartibiyya. You're using the first, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth in the feminine form. So here literally, as-sa'a means the hour. So I'm going the 7th hour. I'm going at the 7th hour. So it's using those a'dad, those number that shows sequence. And those numbers are in reality adjectives. So they have to match the noun. So when you say I'm going the 7th hour, hour is feminine. So the 7th has to be feminine. Now because this word is showing the time that you're going, it's going to take the fatha. So that's two things to note. Or you can say three things. First, you're using the ordinal numbers. And this second thing, it is an adjective, so it has to match. And the third is that it's going to be in the fatha because you're showing time, right? And we did the dharf in the program. The dharf always takes fatha. We give the example in Surah Infitar, or where وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ. When it's showing the time, يَوْمَ لَا تَمْلِكُ, the day when no soul will possess any help for another soul, it's showing time. It takes a fatha. يَوْمَ يَكُونُ النَّاسِ, the day when mankind will be كَالْفَرَاشِ الْمَبَثُوثِ. يَوْمَ يَقُومُ النَّاسُ لِرَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ, the day when mankind will stand to the Lord. So every time the word yawm, day, is used to show time, it takes a fatha. But if it's used as a subject or a predicate or so, it takes the Dhamma. Like, وَمَا أَدْرَاكَ مَا يَوْمُ الدِّينِ. What is the day, right? What is the day? You're not showing time. You're asking, what is the day? So those are the three things to note when you're saying time. Yes, so the time, the word showing the time or the place of an event, will always be in mansub state. Unless a preposition is used with it, then it's going to be. So for example, you say, I'm in the car, right? It's showing where you are, but you use a preposition with it, so it's going to follow the effect of the preposition. So we have أذهب الساعة السابعة. I go at 7 o'clock. Now how you say 1 o'clock? الساعة الواحدة. Now here, all of these exercises, you can practice them. So you follow the pattern. متى تذهب إلى المدرسة? Right? So you say متى تذهب إلى البيت؟ أذهب الساعة الواحدة. أذهب الساعة الواحدة. And this here is going to be, this is homework. Right? Write out the time with this exercise. So أذهب إلى البيت الساعة الواحدة. أذهب إلى الطبيب الساعة الثانية. Right? I go to the doctor at 2 o'clock. أذهب إلى الطبيب الساعة الثانية. أذهب إلى المسجد الساعة الثالثة. I go to the masjid at 3 o'clock. أذهب إلى المهندس. I go to the engineer الساعة الرابعة. Right? At 4 o'clock. الساعة الخامسة 5 o'clock. الساعة السادسة 6 o'clock. Now note for 6, there is a slight variation, right? You don't say الساعة الساتتة from ستة. No, you say الساعة السادسة. I go at 6 o'clock. So this is where there is a variation. And then you have الساعة الثامنة والتاسعة الساعة العاشرة and الساعة الحادية عشرة. We will come across those inshallah ta'ala. And الساعة الثالثة عشرة for 12. Now how you differentiate between morning and evening? AM, PM, masa'an and sabahan. If it's AM, you say sabahan. If it's PM, you say masa'an. Okay, we're going to pause here for the Arabiya Bayna Yadayk. Inshallah, page 88. So let's switch over to the other book. I'm gonna write it on the board, inshallah. So in the Qasasun Nabiyyin, where are we here? I think this is too far. No. We're on the 5th passage. Amama Ya'qub. Amama Ya'qub. In front of Ya'qub. And again, I keep repeating, for these passages, the conversation, the homework by default is to extract all the new words and write it in a book with the meaning. And you have to read it after understanding it at least 10 times loud. That's the homework, and it must be submitted. Now you're submitting, you're going to submit the vocabularies that you wrote from the book, and also when you submit those vocabulary, you're going to put the chapter for the vocabulary. So make sure you're organizing it. So let's say we're on the fifth passage. So the story of Yusuf, paragraph number 5, or the 5th passage, the new vocabs for it. So like that we can keep track, inshallah ta'ala. Amama Ya'qub. So in the previous chapter is where they threw Yusuf into the well, and they took out his shirt and they soaked it with blood. So now they're returning to their father. Amama Ya'qub. وَجَاءُوا أَبَاهُمْ عِشَاءً يَبْكُونَ. Just to know, the verses of the Quran, we might not necessarily go through it in detail. I'm just going to touch on the general vocab, but we're not going to analyze it too much. Because with the classical Arabic, it can get a little bit technical for us at this stage. Waja'u, now these are simple. Waja'u, wa is an, ja'u meaning they came, right? Ja'u meaning they came. Abahum, to their father. Abahum, to their father. They came to their father. Isha'an, meaning at the time of Isha. Now Isha, as we mentioned, Isha and Fajr and Dhuhr and Maghrib, all of those are times of the day. So they came to their father. Isha'an means at the time of Isha. It takes fatha. Why? Because it's showing time. Yabakun, crying. Yabakun, crying. Now Abahum, just for a benefit, who benefit from it? Alhamdulillah. As we mentioned in the summer program, this word ab, when you add it to in a mudaf ilay construction, meaning the father of. So the father of Muhammad, you say Abu Muhammad, father of Ahmad, Abu Ahmad, right? It changes its state with the alif, the ya, and the waw. Regular words is fatha damma kasra. You say baitun, baitan, baitin. But the word ab, you say abahu, abuhu, abihi. Right? The ya. You change with the ya, the alif, or the waw. So here you can say abahum, abuhum, abihim, depending. Now why is it abahum? Because it's showing where they came, right? Dharf. So they came to their father. So just by putting this word in the fatha state, the mansub state, it shows where they came. So in regular Arabic, you might say ja'u ila abihim, they came to their father, using a preposition. But there's another way to do it, is using the concept of the dharf, or the time, the pronoun of place and time. Qalu, they said, Ya abana, O our father. Now, anytime you're calling out to our father or my father, is always going to be mansub. Right? You're not going to say Ya abuna. That's grammatically incorrect. You're not going to say Ya Abu Bakr. You say Ya Aba Bakr. Just note it for now. Don't worry as to why. Right? Anytime you're saying, O father of something, you put it in the mansub. Once it's O father of something or someone. Ya Aba Hurayra. You're not going to say Ya Abu Hurayra. Right? You're not going to say like Ya Abdullah, as many people do. Right? They're calling out on someone. As we know, you can call on someone random using the word Abdullah. Everyone is Abdullah, servant of Allah. So if you call on someone strange, you say Ya Abdallah. Ya Abdallah. So they say Ya Abana, O our father. Inna, verily we. Dhahabna, we went. Right? You conjugate the verb in Arabic to suit the noun. So verily we went. Inna dhahabna nastabiqu, racing. Nastabiq meaning racing in this context. We went racing, competing. What kind of race? Allahu alam. Wa tarakna Yusuf, and we left. Tarakna, we left. Past tense, right? Tarakna. We did the word taraka before somewhere, right? Meaning he left. Tarakna, we left. And we left Yusuf inda, with or at, mata'ina, our belongings. Mata' means belongings. Right? The word mata' can mean belonging. Anything of temporary use is a mata'. Innama hadhihi al-hayatu dunya mata'. This worldly life is nothing but a mata'. It's just temporary usage, enjoyment. فَأَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, then the wolf ate him. Right? Fa, then, الذِّئْبُ akalahu. I just restructure it for translation and understanding. But in the Arabic, you can put the verb with the pronoun attached to it before the noun, with the object. So the wolf ate him. That's how we say it in English. In Arabic, you can say فَأَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ, ate him the wolf. Ate him the wolf. Then the wolf ate him. Right? This fa here is not so. As we mentioned, fa can mean generally so, meaning as a result of something, or it can mean then, meaning something happening after something. Right? So the wolf didn't eat him, based on their claim, because they went racing. So, oh, they're racing, let me go eat him. No, the wolf eat him after they went and raced. That is what they're trying to claim. فَأَكَلَهُ الذِّئْبُ. Then the wolf ate him. وَجَاءُوا, and they came, عَلَى قَمِيصِهِ, upon his shirt, meaning they came bringing his shirt as if maybe they're leaning over it. Bidamin, with blood. Kadhib. Kadhib means lying, lie, or here is false. With bidamin kadhib, false blood. Right? The blood is a lie. وَجَاءُوا عَلَى قَمِيصِهِ بِدَمٍ كَذِبٍ. They came upon his shirt with false blood. وَقَالُوا, and they said, هَذَا دَمُ يُوسُف. This is the blood of Yusuf. هَذَا دَمُ يُوسُف. وَكَانَ أَبُوهُمْ يَعْقُوبُ نَبِيًّا. And their father Ya'qub was a prophet. وَكَانَ shaykhan kabira, and he was, wakana was, shaykhan, old elderly man, right? Shaykhan kabira. Kabir reflects old age and elderliness. As you said, both of these two words, they in this context give you the same meaning in general. وَكَانَ أَعْقَلَ مِنْ أَوْلَادِهِ. وَكَانَ, and he was, meaning the father was, أَعْقَلَ, more intelligent. أَعْقَلَ, more intelligent. Min, than, أَوْلَادِهِ, his children. أَوْلَاد, children, he is. And the word أَعْقَل, from aql, right? أَفَلَا تَعْقِلُونَ, don't you have sense, intellect, intelligence? So أَعْقَل means to be more intelligent. Now in English we say the boy is bigger than, this one is more than. But in Arabic you use the word min to represent that than that we have in English. Kana, as you said, is the past. If you were to take out kana, you're going to say Ya'qub. Ya'qub aqalu min awladihi. Ya'qub is more intelligent than his children. You put in kana. Ya'qub kana aqalu aqala. Ya'qub kana aqala min awladihi. Ya'qub was more intelligent than his children. وكان يعقوب يعرف أن الذئب إذا أكل إنسانا جرحه وشق قميصه. وكان يعقوب يعرف, right? يعقوب يعرف, Yaqub knows. Kana, put it in the past. He is narrating a story of the past, right? Yaqub, he knows, he used to know, he know. Anna dhi'ba, indeed the wolf. Indeed, anna for emphasis, indeed, verily, surely. Ad-dhi'b, the wolf, either when, akala, it ate, insanan, meaning a human being, right? A person, a human being. Jarahahu, jaraha means to injure, right? Jarahahu, he injured it. A jurh represent injuries like cut, scrape, bite, sting. All of these can be jurh. Washaqqa, shaqqa means to tear. Past tense, it's his shirt. Qamisahu, his shirt. Now, go through back the individual words, and then there's something to note with the grammar so you don't get confused. Kana, clear. Ya'qub, ya'rifu, knows. Anna, for emphasis. Al-dhi'b, the wolf. Now, either means when. And we said that either it's used to represent something in the present or the future, but the verb that comes after it is in the past tense. So, for example, I say, when I go to the masjid, right? That is how we say in English. Now, in Arabic, you can say, إِذَا ذَهَبْتُ. I use the past tense with the إِذَا, but the presence of the إِذَا, going to let you know that you're referring to the present, you're referring to the present tense or the future tense. So, إِذَا أَكَلَ إِنسان literally mean when he ate a human. But you're going to translate it to mean when he eats a human. Right? The wolf, when he eats a human being. Jarahahu, he injures him. Right? The past tense use in the answer. When he eats a human, what does he do? Jarahahu, he injures him. The past tense is used, but this either put everything in the context of the present or the future. And there is nothing strange. It's in Many language, including the English language, as we give with the word didn't, right? The word didn't, you say I didn't go. You don't say I didn't went. But the word didn't, put it in the past. And shaqqa, and he tears, it tears his clothes, meaning the wolf going to tear the clothes and rip it. Tear, shaqqa, tear or rip or split, all of that can mean it. And you're going to use the appropriate words. If you say someone shaqqal khashab, shaqqal khashab, khashab means wood, is going to mean he splits the wood, right? Shaqqal qamis, he tears, he tore the shirt. You're going to use it appropriately. وَكَانَ قَمِيصُ يُوسُفَ سَالِمًا وَكَانَ قَمِيصُ يُوسُفَ سَالِمًا. And the shirt of Yusuf was salim, safe, right? Salim, from salam, silm, safe. Nothing happened to it. It wasn't torn. Nothing happened to it. وَكَانَ مَصْبُوغًا فِي الدَّمِ. And it was soaked in blood. Wakana masbugan, it was soaked, right? Masbug means to be soaked. Fiddam, in blood. فَعَرَفَ يَعْقُوبُ أَنَّهُ دَمٌ كَذِبٌ. So Ya'qub knew, أَنَّهُ, verily it is damun kadhib, fake blood, right? Fake blood. Now this word masbuk means soaked. If you remember, we did the ism maf'ul, the noun of the object, meaning the adjective that represents the object of the verb. Here, before, you see, وَأَخَذُوا قَمِيصَ يُوسُف, they took the shirt of Yusuf, وَصَبَغُوهُ, and they soaked it. So now the thing that is being soaked, you call it masbug. It is masbug. The one who's doing the soaking, he is the sabig, right? He is the sabig. Revision. And we're going to go through everything back, inshallah ta'ala, in our new grammar program. So for the new ones, don't worry, inshallah. وَأَنَّ قِصَّةَ الذِّئْبِ. So Ya'qub, he knew, فَعَرَفَ, so he knew that the blood is fake. وَأَنَّ قِصَّةَ الذِّئْبِ قِصَّةٌ مَوْضُوعَةٌ. And verily, indeed, the story of the wolf, قِصَّةَ الذِّئْبِ, right? The story of the wolf, قِصَّةٌ مَوْضُوعَةٌ, is a, قِصَّة means story, mawdu'a, fake. So that the story of the wolf, verily the story of the wolf is a fake story. The best word to use, mawdu'a, is fabricated. It's a fabricated story. Mawdu'atun, fabricated story. Like you have, if you say a fabricated hadith, you're going to say هذا حديث موضوع. هذا حديث موضوع. The ta, because qissa is feminine. فقال لأولادي, so he said to his children. فقال, so he said, li, to أولاده, his children. بل, rather, هذه قصة وضعتموها. Rather, this is قصة, a story, وَضَعْتُمُوهَا, you all fabricated it. Now, we're going to break down this word here, inshallah. You fabricate is, you all fabricate is وَضَعْتُم, right? So, for example, you wrote katabta, you all wrote katabtum. So you all fabricate وَضَعْتُم. And note the link between وَضَعْتُم and mawdu. So the thing that is being fabricated is mawdu', right? On the scale of the maf'ul, the scale of the object. The one who is fabricating going to be the wadi', right? Wadi'. Now that's one of the meaning of the word wada'a, can means to fabricate. It also have other meaning. Rather, it has a strange contrary meaning. The word wada'a can means to fabricate, or it can means to found, like the founder of a science. The founder, man wada'a ilman nahu, who founded the knowledge of grammar. The context going to let you know. Now, why is this waw here? Now, the plural, that meme, wada'tum, katabtum, if you were to add a damir to it, you put this waw to make it flow. You're not going to say, for example, you want to say, you wrote it. You're not going to say, katabtumha, right? If you say that loud, you see there is some struggle with your tongue. Katabtumha. Rather, the Arabs, they will add this waw to make it flow. Katabtumuha, wada'tumuha, darabtumuha. So that's the purpose of this waw. So this word originally is wada'tumha, wada'tumha. So Yaqub, he said, rather, this is a story, وَضَعْتُمُوهَا, you all fabricated it, right? The ha, it referring to the story. فَصَبَرٌ jamil, so a beautiful patience, meaning he is going to have a beautiful patience. وَحَزِنَ Yaqub, and Yaqub was sad, عَلَى Yusuf, upon Yusuf, he grieved upon Yusuf, Huznan shadidan, a great grieving, right? A great sadness, severely. We mentioned that the masdar, the verbal noun of the verb, can be used to describe the verb. So in English we say, he grieved greatly, he was sad greatly, intensely. However, in Arabic, you can put the masdar, he was sad, a great sadding. Well, we don't speak like that in English, right? He was sad, a severe sadding, or you see face sadness, whichever is the right word. وَحَزِنَ يَعْقُوبَ عَلَى يُوسُفَ حُزْنًا شَدِيدًا, and Ya'qub, he grieved upon Yusuf shadidan, severely, حُزْنًا شَدِيدًا. وَلَكِنَّهُ, but he, وَلَكِنَّهُ, but he, صَبَرَ صَبْرًا جَمِيلًا, he was patient, a good patience. He was patient, a good patience. Right, all of this using back the masdar. Sabara, he was patient. The masdar, the verbal noun, the patience is sabar, and jamil is beautiful. So you can use the masdar, the verbal noun, to describe the action.